22 minutes past 6, there's been widespread condemnation of an American dentist who shot and killed a lion in Zimbabwe. It's made most of the front pages of newspapers here in Britain today.
Yes, and it appears that Walter Palmer paid £35,000 to go on the hunt. The animal, known as Cecil, was shot with a bow and arrow. Other disturbing details also emerging, including claims that the lion actually took 40 hours to die.
Well, Dominic Dyer from the Born Free Foundation is here with us this morning. And I suppose it's distasteful enough for most people, just this single incident. But actually, this sort of thing happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yes, the story of Cecil's a tragedy. But the good thing, there is a good thing coming out of this story, is that it's really making people wake up around the world to the tragedy facing Africa's lions. In 1980, we had around 80,000 lions across the continent. We have less than 25,000 today, in about 23% of the territory that they once inhabited. So hunting, wildlife, human conflict and habitat destruction are all having a massive impact on their numbers.
And let's just talk about this this particular lion, because he was tagged and he actually lived, what, in a national park, did he?
That's right,
So
yes.
This was an illegal
Yes,
kill.
you could go into that national park in daytime and hunt with a permit. You couldn't go in at night, so he shouldn't be able to go in and do what he did at night.
Right.
This particular lion was part of a research project which was connected to Oxford University. It was satellite tagged, so it shouldn't have been in any way killed. He enticed it out of the actual park itself, beyond the boundaries, and shot it with a bow. And as you said, it took 40 hours for it to be found and shot to be killed.
He says he had a permit and he paid a lot of money for it, and we've heard of other instances of this in other countries as well. Why is any hunting allowed?
It brings in money, and there are many African countries, Tanzania, Botswana, South Africa, that actually see this as a good form of income to allow, tourists to come in and actually kill these animals. There's also a huge farming operation now in South Africa. There's over 160 farms that actually farm lions intensively. Over 6,000 of them now are there basically for hunters to come in from around the world to kill them with bows or guns. So it's a horrible business, and we're very concerned about the impact of that.
And just to tell us about the sort of impact in that particular case, because I understand he had cubs. So what's the sort of impact on his family and the generations of...
Yes, there's two sort of dominant males. Obviously, Cecil's now been killed. The other dominant male won't look after Cecil's pride. He will basically possibly kill the cubs of Cecil. That happens in these types of situations. So it's not only a tragedy for that individual lion, it could mean that many of the cubs will die as a result as well. And that research project that's been going on for many years will suffer as a consequence.
Yeah, I mean, shooting animals with a rifle is one thing, but with a bow and arrow seems particularly inhumane.
It's something that's widely practiced in North America. It's something that's becoming increasingly popular for trophy hunters in Africa too. They get very close to the animal that they're seeking to kill. But yes, I think most people would be very shocked. And in this situation, even if this man was good with the bow, and I believe he is in the sense of the animals he's killed, he only wounded this lion, so it would have had a long, painful death.
What do you think can be done then about the wider problem? What can be done to stop it, to discourage people wanting to go and do this?
Well, there's some good things coming out of this already. In the United States at the moment, there is work being done to look at uplisting lions to the most endangered species status, which would basically mean that all trophies would not be allowed into the United States from hunting of this kind. In Europe, we're seeing similar debates going on, where we'll be increasing restrictions on bringing in lion trophies from South Africa, Botswana, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and I think that's crucial. I think the permit situation is what really would kill this business off. These people want the heads, they want the skins to bring home with them. If they can't bring them home, and even if the airlines don't carry them, and a number of airlines are now boycotting the transport of these particular items because of public concern and anger. So I think they're all positive developments that we're seeing.
This guy, in this case, there's also a picture of him, presumably from his own social media side, of him holding up a dead leopard that he shot. I mean, are people actually allowed to shoot leopards as well?
They are, yes, and rhinos and elephants, the most endangered species. And it's not just this gentleman. There's a former governor of the BBC, Sir David Scholey, who's been in the public eye because of killing these animals in the same way, particularly killing lions. I think there's a petition, 330,000 people have signed it to say that David Cameron should remove his knighthood. That's an example of the public anger over individuals that are carrying out this type of hunting practice. So I think public anger is growing, and people would like to see this stop, and obviously as conservationists we want to see it stop as well.
Dominic Dyer, thank you very much. Thank you.